to everybody. Daniel, how are you doing? How was your week?
I am fine, thank you. How are things with you?
Things quiet, heated. This is very, 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 very hot these days, but we are surviving day by day.
Nice.
So the topic we have for y'all today is trust. I would want to just probably recap the topics for those who tuning in for the first time. I would recap the topics for you all. So the first topic we would have spoken about was forgiveness. Forgiveness was a very broad topic, and like I said
I
before,
think we went.
anybody.
I think we went to guilt first, the day when we had the launch. I think we started with guilt or
Guilt.
something like that.
Okay, all right.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, guilt, forgiveness, and stress. Last week, the topic we had a really, really nice topic with what stress does to the human body, mind, body, and soul. And this week's topic, I think Penny chose this week's topic, Daniel, right? I believe so. Trust. Penny
Can't remember
George,
who it
I believe.
was.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe she chose it on the screen. I remember seeing it. So
I remember who it was.
so the topic today would be trust. Trust of oneself and trust to the public, trust in relationships, trust in friendships, trust in God, trust in anything, um, people, places, and things. Before I start, Daniel, would you like to share anything on trust?
Yeah. I was thinking about how these days, we as persons who are so sold out into, let's just use the word activism. A lot of people will come to us because they want us involved in this, they want us get involved in that, and they will tell us the things we want to hear because we always like to be active and doing things positive. And sometimes they have so much hidden agendas. And what has happened, like, is when we decide a topic, somehow the topic there's still on it. So I was just thinking how easy it is. You could trust somebody. In our case, it might be activism. In somebody else's case, it might be something else, right? So what people usually do to steal your trust, and I'm using the word steal because that's when they try to earn your trust. And I know you will give us a positive side of trust as well.
Of course, of course. Like you said, trust is a big deal because in order, in my opinion, for any relationship to be founded, any relationship, friendship, business partners, personal, family, in order for that to be founded, we need trust. We need to allow people to do things as well, right? Rather than we do things alone for ourselves, right? So to kick started, one may ask, what is trust? You may give me your opinion, Daniel. I might give you my opinion. And I just seen my sons, them just saying great job, mom. So I just have my smile. Yeah. Yeah. So trust, right? Trust is a firm belief in the reliability, truth, or ability of someone or something. Relations have to be built on trust, right? So it is a firm, how to say, reliability. Like I trust you, Daniel, that when we go online, I am going to hear you properly, I am going to see you properly, and everything is going to be positive on the show. I trust you in that aspect. I trust my kids that they will give me this 1 hour of quiet time to do my thing, right? I trust the bank with my money, and if anything happens to the bank or they get robbed or God forbid anything, my money will be safe, right? We have trust in everything and in everybody, right? So what it is really how let me put it this way: I could trust you with okay, this could be my pen, right? But by the time I trust you with my pen, It come like you have a shared responsibility to my pen. So it's like even when parents split up or they get separated or something like that, when you introduce or reintroduce other people to your children's life, first of all, you have to trust them around your children. When you trust them, that means you're giving them, it don't even need to be a big amount, but it come like you sharing that responsibility of your kids. So trust could be, and then there is the next level of trust where you trust in yourself. Some people may not trust themselves to make a decision. They may not trust themselves around a bottle of alcohol. They may not trust themselves around a pretty lady. They may not trust themselves around a pretty man. It's like that. So there are different levels of trust as well that I will explain as we carry on. Anything you'd like to add to that, Daniel?
Well, I will add something that you say in terms of you trusting yourself around people. One reason I don't trust myself around people, you see people who out of timing, I feel sometimes they could bring out an next part of me that I really don't want to bring out because I always like to be calm, I like to be peaceful, and sometimes even though you still sometimes these are things that could contribute to the thoughts that you may sow and the actions you may reap from the thoughts you sow. Right? So I don't trust
Correct.
myself around that timing people too much.
I could relate to that a little bit. I could relate. I could relate. Right. So there are different types of trust, as I was just saying, right? The relationship trust. So this is a significant other, a common law wife, common law husband, girlfriend, first love, whatever it may be. The relationship between trust and love is very, very close. Um, Trust means trust in yourself, your own judgments, and trust in others. Trust is the foundation for any relationship, after all. Trust means you can rely on your partner and confide to them and feel safe. Now, this feeling of being safe is very, very important as well. Not just for women being safe with men and trusting them like that. Even men being safe with women. Um, Simple as business, your personal business. You have to come real, 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 real good to know my personal business. Like I don't trust anybody when coming to that because I believe it is personal for a reason. That's your business. I don't believe it being shared. So to say that I have to trust people to share my business, I really don't have to worry about that too much because I really don't think that your business is supposed to be out there. But to say trust myself, all that comes from self-love, and self-love is another one of our really, really nice topics that we will share one day soon. So love and trust goes hand in hand. It is the foundation of any type of relationship. It is the foundation of anything progressive. You need to trust yourself or you need to trust someone at some point in your life in order for progress to continue to happen. Um, I just keep seeing my boys messaging. Josh and Luke, you don't have to keep messaging. I'm right here, not far away. Right, as I was saying,
Good man,
most
the comments
people,
building. Big up to Josh and Luke. Big
they're
up to all the penny in the house at the same time too. Right? Yes, yes. Fill up the
family in the
comments. Watch
house.
the comments
Yeah,
too much.
family in
Let
the
them do
house.
the thing. They're showing full support. You
Yeah.
don't watch the comments. Big up to all the
Most people will agree. Yeah, most people will agree that trust is an important element in their friendships. So, like I said, any kind of ship, any kind of relationship, trust is very, very important. Um, so, trust allows us to feel safe with our friends. So, we have associates, we have friends, we have family. So, again, trust is the root word. Trust is like, you have to build a house. You need the foundation. Then first, trust is like that. If you have a firm foundation, you're gonna have a steady house. If you have a weak foundation, house gonna fall. As simple as that. So safe enough. It makes us feel safe enough to make plans with this person or individual or situation, or whatever, or to even share important information. So this is how important trust is. From the time you trust somebody, whether be whatever reason, you automatically share your personal things with them, share your personal opinion, share your family, share your friends, you share everything with that person. And then when that trust is betrayed, all of that comes crumbling down, like we'll discuss later on. Trust requires that we keep our promises and showings that demonstrate dependability, respect, and honor. So Daniel, let's say I say, Daniel, that you need help with something, and I said, don't worry, I will help you. You know, I was there, whatever, whatever, I will help you. And when that time reach now, I can't help you, or I choose not to help you, or I am unable to help you. Automatically, your trust for me will go down a couple knots, right? Because you were dependent on me to fall through. Now, that in itself will raise other emotions like anger, disappointment, fear, worry, all these low frequency things, because trust is of a high frequency. Hence, it is posed together with love because of that. So trusting yourself is very, very important, even more so than trusting other people, because you have to trust yourself. You have to have that self-confidence. And self-confidence is also another high frequency. So all of these work hand in hand. So it shows that you can be dependable. If someone trusts you, people have respect for you and have a lot of honor for you, vice versa. So the next question we'd ask is, what is the importance of trust? What do you think is the importance of trust, Daniel?
Well, it gives confidence. You feel confident, and I think when you have trust, you will get more done. When you are insecure, automatically you may be reserved, you may take less chances, right? Although some people will take chances even though they don't trust, but they just a chance. But I think people who don't have trust really deprive themselves of a number of things in life, right? You'll find my mic muted because we have some rain on my end now, and I don't
Mm,
want to really affect the whole thing, so you'll find the mic muted at least until the rain pass.
that's right, that's right. Well, we haven't had rain here in about 3 to 4 days, where everyone is getting rain. We are not having any rain. We are just having the very, very hot, hot, hot sun and heated place that we have to be inside, but no rain on this end. So, what is the importance of trust? So, trust means that you rely on someone else to do the right thing. So, again, let me give you another example. We are in a vehicle. Um, the light is on red or amber going to red. Now, you would trust this person to do the right thing and not break the light, right? And the person may break the light. It might have an officer there at that point, but you might be, as I say, under the influence or something, or have something, or you're not in the best frame of mind or whatever, and you'll get yourself in trouble because you know put your life in someone else's hands to trust. It might be real minor to some people, but still you did. Because if you didn't, you would have been probably behind a wheel or have a different driver. So it's as simple as that. Um, so you're giving somebody else the responsibility to do the right thing because you're automatically thinking, once you trust somebody, you care about somebody, automatically thinking they're not gonna hurt you. They're not gonna betray you, they're not gonna disappoint you. Those are the things that come up in your head. Hey, I trust that person. Even without even saying I trust that person, because you are just good with them, that's my boy, we good. Because you're like that, you just automatically think they're not gonna betray you. And that's where shock, disappointment, dismay comes from when someone breaks our trust, which usually breaks almost everything else around us mentally, because it kind of put the mind into a shock syndrome. Because guess what? You're not expecting that. And not expecting it leaves you in a very, very vulnerable point. Because trust is being vulnerable at the end of the day. So you believe in a person's integrity and strength. So if I'm saying to you, I'm going to move this boulder, and this boulder is what blocking you from getting, say, water or something, and I am telling you that you're going to believe in my integrity, you're going to believe in my strength because I said I can't do it. You can't trust me. So by breaking that trust now, you will not believe in someone's integrity, nor their strength, nor their say self-confidence, nor their truth, nor their realness. You're going to have a lot of question marks in your head now. And all this is within your mental. And it's according to the situation, people around you, the environment, all these things is going to decide if you're going to turn into a grumpy person, a little short-tempered person who's not going to be trusting anybody, or if you're going to look at it as, hey, I'm just not supposed to be trusting this person or this situation and move forward. Either way, it will be our individual's choice. So to the extent that you're able to put yourself on the line, so sometimes they say don't put your head on a block for man, don't put your head on a block for woman, don't put your head on a block for children. I mean, those are things that we hear since growing up. Well, I mean, at least I have heard. And in order for you to trust somebody, you're kind of putting your head on a block saying, nah, them wouldn't do that. They wouldn't say anything about me. No, not them. Somebody else. And it's very well them. But the disbelief so strong, Daniel, that you can't say anything. Disbelief so strong. So
I
at
think that's my
some
biggest mistake.
all kind of different blocks, right? But we learn and we grow, right? We learn and we grow. So trust is essential to an effective team because it provides a sense of safety. So imagine having this support system where people are capable of being trusted, right? As in, I put my trust in you, you appreciate that, understand that, you put your trust in me, yeah, something could work. Things could function, progress could happen. But me trusting you and you not trusting me, it can't go like this. It just going so. Like I give in, but you're not allowing yourself to trust me, and then that would be problems, right? So trust is the backbone. We're going to speak about now how it affects our everyday life and human emotions, etc., etc. Trust is the backbone of a healthy, happy relationship or healthy, happy relationships. Now, backbone, what could you stand without your backbone, Daniel? No. So backbone has to be something very, very important, right? So backbone, they did not say leg, arm, finger, hair strand, they said backbone, right? So trust is the backbone. So then people need to really do their research and find out what trust is. Am I a trustworthy person? And do I trust people easily? Or do I trust people at all? Those are questions we need to ask ourselves in each relationship, situationship, or environment that we find ourselves in. We need to ask ourselves those questions. So then we'll know if there is an issue and if we can deal with it step by step, of course, whether they are romantic or not. So, like I said, any kind of ships, it could be friendship, it could be relationship, trust is a key factor into building a life with someone or building just a how to say a higher frequency life because trust is a high frequency with. When you trust that a person respects and loves you, it's much easier to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is what fosters real close connection. Now, that word vulnerable. That's like someone loves you, probably a bit harsh, probably a little edgy, whether it be relationships, whether it be how you grew up, whether it be hormones, whether it be whatever, and you're not giving in. You understand what I'm saying? That means you don't trust them because you're not being vulnerable. You're not opening up your real self. Sometimes people don't even know their authentic self. They don't even know. They just how to say they're in the mold, they're in the matrix. They just do what they're told. They don't know if they trust somebody. They don't know if they love somebody. They don't know if they care about anybody. They don't. So trust is very, very important if you want a better quality of life. Right. So it's much more easier to be vulnerable. And at some points in our life, we need to be vulnerable. The journey to get into a place where there is trust also brings closeness. So this is why the journey itself is very, very important, because the person I am today, I was not 5 years ago. And the person I was 5 years ago, 5 years previous to that, I was not. And so it would continue going as well as you, Daniel, and each individual, right? All of us change, whether we wanted to or not. So the journey to where we reach, when at this juncture in my life, when I look back, I don't have to think black and white, if and yes. I know how to say, who I can trust, and I know who I cannot trust. That's how simple it is. It is black and white. So the journey, each of us would have had an individual journey. After that, you would know, like I said, who who you can trust and who you can't trust, right? So the journey to getting to a place where there's trust also brings closeness. So you also become very, very close to that individual situation or thing, whatever it may be. Also brings, so with that closeness will also bring friendship, would also bring love, would also bring, I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Daniel. Closeness, when you're close with someone, what are some good positive things you get out of that besides trusting?
Well, I'm looking at the comments, and I was just about to ask you, but I didn't want to cut you yet. I was going to ask how you the link the trust or mistrust to stress, because in the comments here, Corinne is saying that now she is trusting God because stress wasn't an easy thing to deal with. So, um, but she's speaking from um, what she experienced in the past. So I don't know how you could link that the stress.
All right, okay. Well, stress can be linked to trust as well, because let's put it this way. Say, okay, I am a mom of three, right? So I would say I trust someone to look after my children, and I go to it. And say incidents happen, right? Incidents happen where I cannot trust this person with my children again. No, this is going to put me in very, very stressful situation, because now I'm going to have to look for somebody else, and all that is going to stress me out. It might bring job stress. It might bring children. I mean, more stress. It might bring financial stress, but it will bring stress in your life if you think you cannot trust anybody, or if someone continuously breaks your trust. It can have you in a depressed mode, because I was there a couple of years ago, and I could tell you, not being able to trust anybody because of the constant betrayal could have your mind on a kind of numb zone, because you realize you cannot trust anybody, and then that is a very stressful thing to do everything by yourself. But what choice do you have? Sometimes you are the only how to say, sufficient one. You are the only one who given 100%. And sometimes I think better I do things by myself, because you can't trust this one, because they're not reliable. People are not reliable. So a lot of people keep to themselves. So I can understand why she said, she's stressed out about not being able to trust somebody, or whatever the case may be, whatever the situation, because if you're not able to trust people and you can't rely on people, who can you rely on? And that can be very, very stressful.
Okay, also I'm seeing memory ranking. He says, I like how you are speaking very proper woman, and also Penny is saying, can't trust people, it's sad. You saw the comments from Penny and
Yeah,
memory
I'm sorry. I'm seeing Akila as well. She said it's an interesting talk.
ranking.
Yeah, trust built in time, right? Thank you, Memory Rankin.
And Penny is saying can't trust people, it's
It's true because but I more believe, but remember I am a very spiritual person. So I more believe when you don't trust yourself, situations will you create conflict within yourself and then situations pop out because remember our eyes are projections from our soul. So if we see in situations with constant distrust, it is because we need to trust ourselves. We need to trust our judgment. Like we will talk about that later on, but trusting oneself leads to self love and self care. And all of them are high frequency energies, which will always lift us higher and higher and make us evolve into the person that we are meant to be. So, and
some comments
Akila
as well
said,
from
mhm,
Salima, yes, and Akila.
yeah, I'm
Some of
seeing
are
that.
not seeing
Good night. Real problems to me to see
the
this
comments
on.
properly on my devices.
I know out there, these topics are not topics that you get per se, that real topics, which is everyday life, everyday situations, and root core problems that we talk about on this program here. And besides just having topics and discussing it, like Daniel said, you are free to comment, you are free to, you know, ask us whatever you need to ask us, and we are most happy to help you as well. Daniel, could you continue talking about trust for a bit more and give me 1 minute, please? Just one
Sure,
second.
Marsha, that's no problem. My I viewers, well, my internet on my side may not be as well as Marsha's. I hope you all are hearing and seeing clearly. This is out of the box wellness talk that we are bringing to you every Tuesday from 6 p.m. And what we are doing, we are at stick to any particular topic. We're not going to just um, we're not going to just go with what everyone else usually bring to you, right? Or we wouldn't be diluting or trying to cover up. We come in raw, we come in real with whatever the issue may be. And we are here just having our conversation. Marsha and I are really close friends for we usually have chats like this. And when we chat for a while. So if you even have to ask yourself what these two people could be talking to for an entire hour, we are it to you, and even more, we are giving you the opportunity to not only give a comment where you all might drop something in the comment section, but you all can also decide what our topic for the next week will be. So all our topics thus far were based on suggestion. We feel free to share the live look every Tuesday. Some of the times we'll see Marsha leading the discussion. Some of the times it may be myself, and it's just we chatting. No kind of straight jacket thing. We in our own comfortable space, and we bring in this discussion to you. What we'll also be doing from time to time, we will have persons joining us live as well. So some of the times you come in, whether it be on health through sporting activities or through music or any other aspect, some persons might be involved in business, and that itself could be healthy for them because they're feeling stable. Some people will talk about family health, right? So we bring in health from all different angles. Um, just to say, we again to all of you who are viewing, I am seeing Anderson. For some reason, I don't know how to get to see all the persons that are commenting from on this main device here. So I'm trying to be in between both devices at the same time, right? Um, it's not really working out so much today because the internet connection is kind of poor. Um, Right, I always hope that I give the right names. I'm seeing Glenda Francis is watching. Yes, thank you. I also saw earlier one Davon Alexander. That is my big brother from long time. I saw that he is viewing. I'm not sure if he is still viewing online right now, but I am really pleased to see someone like him viewing what is happening in Trinidad, right? Right, so that is some encouragement as well. Well, Penny, George, Salima Perch, always on the live. Um, Josh and Luke, I have to tell Ole, thanks for giving Ole mom all the support and stuff like that. You know, that is the kind of things that you all should grow hearing, listening and hearing and understanding, because we don't really have that again these days for young people. So I'm trying to reconnect, right? I think we have Marsha back with us here now. So if she is ready, I don't know if it's a problem on my end. I think it might be a problem on my end. Okay, Marsha, you're back here with us.
Yes, I am. Sorry about that. Those boys have me a little
That's
busy
okay. That's
tonight.
okay.
Right. Right. So we were talking
That's
about
okay. So I am. Some of most of you know me as Joke Marsha, you know.
thanks, Daniel. Thanks. So we were discussing trust being the backbone of a healthy, happy relationships, right? So I was talking to you about being vulnerable, and I was talking to you about the journey and how I was telling you about the vulnerability. And when you reach at the end of your journey, I'm not saying 99 years, I'm not saying pension years, I am not saying um, and NIS years. I am just saying when you reach at the end of a certain journey and you look back, you must have people that you could say you trusted and they were worth trusting. I mean, that is an amazing feeling to have. And if you don't have that, well, you need to really rethink the people that you have surrounded that you call friends. So, trust plays an important role in social affairs as well, right? Within your social sector, who you associate with, your little WhatsApp group, your Facebook group, your work, your gym, all these social affairs, trust also plays that because say you are in a gym and you have your bags and stuff there and an emergency happen, I'm sure it have one person that you could think about that you could leave your bags with that you I mean that you trust even in that gym environment, right? So let's continue. Even sustaining acts of cooperation among strangers, like like a riot, a protest, is a collective thing, right? Is people coming together who share the same opinion, doing something progressive or doing something bad. Either way, trust is involved. Um, Placing trust in a person can be seen as a strategic act or moral response or even an expression of social solidarity. So, how to say, placing trust in someone is almost like our natural instinct, natural order. Because even like when you go to the shops and they say, I'm not trusting nobody, that word is used there too, right? For your little whatever you want, your little pipe up, your little bourbon, your cokes, your rice, your flour, whatever. Sometimes we trust that, and that's on a good note. I know this person, or a good note, there's always pay me and they will pay me again, like on a good note like that. So trust is important in all aspects: social, mental, spiritual, physical. We have to trust our body to know that um, I can do 5 push-ups. Maybe I could push for 10, right? And I trust my body that I could do 5 push-ups. I have to trust my body to know I could do 5 push-ups, otherwise I'll be in some serious, serious pain, right? So we need to trust ourselves. Even on an exam, if we learn the work and we revise the work, we have to trust ourselves and our mind and our God, whoever it may be in our minds, of course, that we're gonna nail it. We're gonna do well in the exam. Otherwise, what is the sense? we doing all that work, revising, and then we're not able to pass it. So trust is needed, especially for ourselves. So we get into that soon, because to me that is more important, having trust in yourself and your capability in doing something rather than trusting others. So have, like an example of trust is lending your teen your vehicle, or lending your children nowadays your phone. That's how it's going, because they always want to watch some type of video. So lending kids your phone or something like that, that's a level of trust. Although we know we might get back in pieces, we still trust them, a little bit, right? That's an example of trust in its simplest. Um, Having someone drive you out, lending your personal belongings. Like I was telling you, you might pull up on traffic light, and that person might run the traffic light to get your tail in trouble, right? So that's a trust too. Lending your personal belongings. Well, sometimes I learn to like give away, because if you want it more than me, you could have it. That's my concept. That goes with clothes, house, land, man. That goes with everything. If you want it more than I want it, you could have it. Like that. Because I trust that what is for me will be for me and will be mine, and nobody can take. Right? So that's my take on that on a personal point. All right. To place yourself or your things. Daniel, like you have something to say.
No, no, no. That's like the fact that I'm keeping it out of the box and I'm keeping it real. The viewers, I believe, well, from the comments,
Right.
you could see that they enjoy it.
Of course, I'm seeing, yeah. So to place yourself or things in the care of another person or in a situation deemed safe is called trust. So I entrust you with my life. I entrust you with my kids. I entrust you with my job. I entrust you with my business. I entrust you. I entrust you. So you are trusting people based on what you think or you perceive trust to be, right? And trust is not, okay, well, this person have plenty money, I could trust them. No, that don't work like that. Or this person is the best of the best in this, I can trust them. No, trust is earned over a period of time. I know Daniel, I know you since I was probably 17 or 18 years. Trust build over that period of time with us, and that's the only thing can build it, time. So time and trust and love will go hand in hand as well.
I like how Memory Rankin put it here. He said they could bring peace and sadness, and then he went on to say, but um, not trusting is not a good thing.
It's true. That's very, very true. That leads to other things that I will explain in a little bit. It's true. Trust is very, very important. You don't have trust, you have nothing. Let's put it that way. So we have four concepts of trust. This is just not, I would even say narrow it down. This is just to give you a little idea of what trust really entails and all the other stuff that goes behind trust. Because people just say trust, TRUST, that's trust. No, it has far more meaning, and it trust to me is more action oriented word rather than just a word. You trust, if someone trusts you, you show up. Someone trusts you, you show up. I don't just mean physically. They say you're gonna get something done, you get it done. Vice versa, right? If you trust someone to do something, that's all they have to do, get it done. I don't want to hear no excuses. Well, this is me, yeah. I don't want to hear no excuses. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Trust is trust. All right, so we have four concepts of trust. Four concepts of trust would be consistency, communication, competency, and compassion. The four C's, right? Each of these four factors is very necessary in a trusting relationship, right? But insufficient in isolation. So what that means is that together, collectively, like Daniel could be doing his own thing, I could be doing my own thing. But together, in with us in isolation, probably we would not have been progressive at the same platform as individuals if we did it by ourselves. But compiled together, like that. God is boss, right? So these four factors make up trust or help build trust, especially I would think communication, compassion, each thing, and consistency. Because if you're not as consistent at anything, it will fall, it will flop. These four factors together develop trust. Now, communication is not what's up, what you doing. That is not communication, right? Communication is you being able to express yourself in the way that you want to, your authentic self, and I am able to understand. Vice versa. I would say that is communication. Not you talking the way you talking and I and a blur as to what it is you are saying, right? So lack of communication is a huge hole in trust as well. That will also weaken it. And you could like, okay, you could trust somebody today, and then tomorrow you might not trust them. They will trust you today, and then tomorrow they might not trust you. Now that in itself is not consistent. So how can you get anything good with lack of consistency? You can't. So you need to have these four factors in place in order to have a firm foundation in trust. There is also a difference between trust and faith, because I would think they also go hand in hand. Now, trust and faith are high frequencies, they are high frequency words. Anyhow you could incorporate it within your life, it will it will always bless you. It will always be good. Both are similar. To have trust in someone simply means having a strong belief in the reliability, truth, or ability of the individual. That's how simple it is. I trust you, I believe in you. Like, well, not believe in you. I believe what you say is truth. I know I can rely on you. Whereas having faith in someone reveals or our complete confidence in someone. So you would hear faith more associated with God. You would think faith would be more associated with the word believe, believer, believers. Those things go hand in hand. So I have faith, I have full faith in God, whether it is a he, she, collective. I have full faith in God, I have full faith in the universe. I trust myself. I have self confidence that if I have to deliver something on this program, I have full confidence in myself that I am going to deliver it. It may not be delivered in the way I want 100% time, but it will be delivered the way it is supposed to because I believe in that. So they are similar, yet there are still differences between the two. So this is where I think is most important, which is trust in yourself. Trust in yourself is one of the most helpful things you can do for yourself in your life. I'll repeat that one more time. Trust in oneself or trust in yourself is one of the most helpful things you can do for yourself in your life. Not even something you could do in your 20s, not even something you could do in your 40s, but something you could do in your life, something so grand that you could do in your life, right? It can help build your confidence. Now, self confidence is everything. You may not be confident in the way you look right now, you may not be confident in the way you feel, but self confidence, once you love yourself, can overpower all of that. I am a walking, talking example of that. Self confidence is a high frequency and it brightens up your smile together with your day. I am not, how to say, my strong point is not technical stuff. My strong point is not laptops, gadgets, and anything to do with it. That's not my strong point. But if I have to do something, I get it done because I know people that that is their strong point. So I know people who have the confidence within themselves to get it done or who just value my friendship and are willing to just get it done. Right? I believe firmly in that. So having trust in yourself can go a very, 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 very long way. I cannot stress enough. I cannot stress how important it is to trust yourself. Trust that if you go and you pick a shoes that you like, nobody is going to object it and say that, hey, that's what you're buying now. That out of style, it doesn't matter. You like it. So you trust in your decision. Make a decision to leave your husband or your wife. You don't need the approval or the opinions of others. Opinions are fine, but you are the one that have to leave. So you have to know if you're going or you're coming. That's how simple it is. You trust your judgment. You decide you want to wear a long jacket today, your mind say wear that, and you see in hot sun. I have how to say I went through that enough times to know that hey, walk with the jacket. If you have to like, not wear it, self-walk with it. Because enough times that happened to me until I got it right. And a day I did wear the long jacket, and then I was able to protect myself from the rain that I couldn't do beforehand. So trust in yourself and your judgment, even to put salt in the food or to cook in. Yeah, I mean, you have to know how much is how much. You have to know when you dress up how you are looking. You have to know when you dress up how you are feeling. You can't wait for somebody to say, "Oh, you're looking so beautiful." You're looking. No, I know I am looking beautiful. No, now compliments are fine, right? They raise our frequency as well. But if you're not aware how beautiful you're looking, like a young lady. If you're not aware how beautiful you're looking, and the first man come to you and say, "Oh, you're looking so beautiful, you're looking so gorgeous," you're gonna be like, "Oh my God, wow!" And you would have known the truth just looking at the mirror because all God's creations are beautiful, right? So as I was saying, um, so they have where did I reach right? Truth or ability of the individual, whereas having faith in someone, um, if you have a belief that something bad happened to you and you still look beautiful, you still feel beautiful, you still have amazing light, all these things, why not feel that way? If you are diagnosed with something and they say it's going to be detrimental or whatever, but you're not feeling that way, why not continue feeling the way you're feeling until, you know, until you feel better? Because it's about how you feel at the end of the day. So if you feel good, you will act good. If you act good, you will feel good, and it keep going hand in hand, right? So your confidence will build. It will allow others to trust you more and make the process of decision making much easier, because the more you trust yourself, the easier it gets. Just like if you're trying to write for the first time, you would need to write a couple of times before you're able. I wouldn't even say to perfect it before you know how to write properly. Then you keep going up levels and levels and levels. So the more you you trust your instincts, the happier you will be and the more you will love yourself, because you would know that, hey, anything I put my mind to, I can do. I trust myself. I trust my judgment, even if it's bad, because we all make mistakes, right? I have made mistakes. We all make mistakes, but are we going to keep that as a burden over our heads for the rest of our life? Because we came here to live, right? So we need to have a really, really nice quality of life so we can be happy every day. Because I find reasons to smile every day, even though they probably aren't. I mean, within the physical mind and the physical time, but I find reasons to smile every day because within this COVID time where lots of people are dying, we are waking up and we are able to breathe. Or we'll be doing breathing and meditation exercises probably in 1 hour session soon, as long as Daniel, whenever Daniel is ready, he just have to let me know the topic, and we can discuss some meditation and yoga as well, so you could find some release within your day, within 5 minutes, because I do exercise sometimes for less than 10 minutes, and it works every day, twice a day. So to trust yourself, all you need is to make a little effort, minute effort, very, very small effort. Create self love and find the ability to look inward. Now, being younger, I remember like people keep saying, look inside. They want to love, look inside. And I never really loved myself for a very, very long while. And when I started to love myself and trust the things that come out of my mouth and trust the thoughts that come into my mind and trust God's way and God's plan, then I was able to love myself more. And self-love is key. I believe that is what we are here on this earth for, multi-dimensional beings experiencing human emotions and human feelings, right? Um, so the next question would be, how can I build trust in my life? So we start with compassion. Compassion, I don't think I need to explain what is compassion. Give yourself permission. We give ourselves permission to allow ourselves things. Sometimes we think if we take some time for ourselves, we are being selfish. Now, I have 3 kids, and I could tell you sometimes it would have the very few times that I will have my snack and I will not share it with them. Very few times, but there are those times because everything I have, I give it to them. They're like, here, or they want this, or they want that, whatever. And it would have a few times I just want that one snack and I'll just sit down and kindly have it. Probably in a room locked away, but I kindly have it because I think I deserve that one snack for myself. So whatever your reward is for yourself, a new book, a new top, you alone know how hard you work, right? At whatever. It does not even matter. You know how hard you work at, like I said, whatever, and you want to reward yourself. You reward yourself in any way. I don't want to say any right way, but any positive way that you're not going to put a smile on your face. So embrace vulnerability. I was telling you about that. And if you cannot be vulnerable, no one can trust you. If you cannot be vulnerable, you can't trust yourself. You have to be able to let things be the way they have to be. You have to trust that we serve a good and merciful God and we are not being punished. How can we be punished when we are here to live and live a most excellent life? Well, in my opinion, how are we going to be punished? I think we just go through processes where we learn and we grow. We are supposed to grow. Like, it's like a game. In each level, they would have, bad things, but, you pick up, just like in the little games with the kids, you pick up your little war and stuff, for the mind. You pick up your tools and you move forward to the next life. You know who you could trust, you know who you can't trust, you know what trust looks like, you know what trust does not look like, sorry. So you move forward, right? You enforce your personal boundaries. Now, boundaries are very, very important. I could tell you that. I had no boundaries for many years. And now boundaries always up. Let me put it like that. Very, very rare boundaries down. Because you don't know people in these realms. People will come. I remember it had this dude. I was in need of a house. Talk to me so sweet, so nice. A guy that I know, lives not like say a village away from me. And set me up and end up making me pay money and all this kind of thing. And I like sitting there. I think is the money didn't even really bother me, It's the fact the lengths the man went to convince me that he that I could trust him. And while he was doing these things, I saw each and everything, and I said maybe he did this for that, maybe and I had two minds about it. And I said to God, I said I trust him, right? Because he asked me to take this chance, so I trusted him. And anything he does to me betray that trust, that's not on me, that's on him because I took the chance. So that is a peace of mind in itself, knowing, well, you take a little chance. It's either yay or nay. It's either black or white. And if it going bad, well, guess what? Don't trust that person. Cut your ties, burn your bridge, drink your water, and move forward. It goes well, guess what? Trust that person, drink your water, trust the person more, love yourself. It's the same thing. Same concept, live good. Listen to your thoughts. Now, picture our thoughts like a waiting room. We are responsible of so like what thought coming out of the waiting room, right? So somebody might get promotion in work. So your initial thing might be like, wow, you're so happy for that person. And right after the second thought might be why I didn't get that? I hear you too longer. Why I didn't get that? Or it might be a sibling. Parents might be study giving one sibling one money. Money and everybody's have their favorites and stuff, and you might be like, why not again? Why not again? Because you would know why, obviously, but who are you to ask that question? Whatever you have, you should be grateful. You make do with what little you have until God can provide you better. That's my belief, right? Express your authentic self. Some of us don't even know what is our authentic self. Daniel, do you know what is your authentic self?
Right. You and me?
Yeah, now here.
Okay. Kind of have a little mix up with some devices here. Right. So I can't really answer this. I can't explain it, but I could say that I know myself. Right. For me to actually explain it in a particular way, I wouldn't be able to really do that. But I wanted
Now
to
it's our next
interrupt
topic.
you
That's our
a
next
little
topic.
earlier on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to interrupt you a little earlier on because I was seeing a comment and I'm hoping that I will call the names correctly. I think I seen Cubana Stacia was making a reference to being able to regain trust, right? And then I saw Shireen Perch asking how you could get back to that place of trust, right? So I wanted to interrupt you to for you to respond to those, but somehow my internet is just coming and going.
Right.
I don't know if you
Well,
saw those
okay.
comments.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you gain back trust for someone? Right. So it will be according to the individual. It'll be according to the situation. Because somebody, I'm just saying, someone killed somebody close to you. Yeah, we might think that's unforgivable, but taking a life is a different thing, and that in itself brings up a lot of low frequency energies that can tie up and put a burden to that entire situation. So everything would be a little tricky, like I said, according to the person and the situation. To build back trust, one has to build back trust in oneself. Because sometimes when we make a mistake by trusting someone, afraid or get disappointed, we blame ourselves. Like, how could I be so stupid? Why I trust this person, etc., etc. And we beat up ourselves. And it's like, I'm not going to trust anybody again. I'm going to keep to myself and etc. But the thing is, us trusting somebody is an extension of us having so much love and trust within ourselves and be like, I could trust you. I trust myself. I could trust you. Now, because that one incident happens, that doesn't mean that you can't trust anybody else. You just have to be selective. And most times, I believe, as
Well,
somebody starts to talk, they one time tell you what their intention is. You just need to stay quiet and listen. And once you are able to read that within the first couple of minutes, you will know for yourself if you can trust them or not.
well, I was going to touch on that now, right? Yes, so it is good to proceed with caution. And being cautious doesn't mean that you are insecure. It doesn't mean that you have trust issues. It could mean that you're using wisdom, you're applying wisdom because again, everything is now unpredictable. And we don't want to go through life being skeptical about everything, but we need to learn from past experiences. And I am really cautious now from some of my past experiences in trusting people. I will not try to scrutinize every detail, but I think it's just a matter of saying, well, okay, we learn from it. We increase our knowledge, we increase our wisdom, and we use different approach to everything that come along. Right? Marsha, just before you continue, right? I know you set out a particular time for today, right? So I just reminding you that it's now it's 4 minutes past 7, right? So back to you.
All right, so I wanted to leave at 7 today, but we started a few minutes late because I told you those boys have me busy. But I'll finish because I believe this is an important topic. So I may not be able to explain in detail how I probably would have. But like I said, trust is a broad topic as well as guilt, forgiveness, and stress. So if you need us to revisit the topics, we will. If you need us to talk about different levels of it, we would. So you could just lay that request with Daniel, text him, call him, and just state what you want us to speak about, and we will. So with
I
that,
think right now they should load up. Right now they should load up the comments with some topics, man. Only give us some topics. Load it up. Load
yes,
it up.
yes. One of the topics I wanted to discuss, which goes hand in hand with this, is the definition of love. So you all could choose between the definition of love, choose whatever else you want. Depression, I believe, is a big topic as well, depression, because what people think depression is not. I also wanted to touch a little on the plant stuff, the medicinal values of plants, Daniel. So we'll choose that topic sometime, right? And there is also chakras, meditation, yoga, frequencies, energies. That is a really, really nice topic that you all could choose as well. So let me try to wrap up here, guys. Um, so why is it right? Number 5, listen to your thoughts, express your authentic self. When you follow through, know what truly matters to you. Like I was saying before, no gray. We don't want any gray. We want black and white. It's either yay or nay. It's either good or bad. Simple as that. No, it might be good and it might be bad, whatever. No, is that a good fit? No good fit, bad fit, no bad fit, right? When you follow through with these actions over a period of time, like I said, consistency, you will learn how to trust and you will learn to build trust in yourself and invite others to do the same. Now, like I said, if you don't love yourself, you cannot trust yourself. And if you cannot trust yourself, you cannot trust anybody else. And as long as you don't trust yourself and your words and your deeds, you always gonna have, because like I say, your eyes project what you have inside. So if you are seeing issues of trust around you, it is because there is issues or there are issues within yourself that you don't trust yourself to make certain judgments. And everything is about learning. So it is not really about teaching. It is not really about teaching you who to trust, who not to trust. It is more about you trusting your judgment from the beginning of meeting someone, knowing, hey, can I trust this person or not? Or if somebody betray your trust, you should know later on, hey, because it look like it and smell like it, hey, it might be it, like that, right? So why is it hard to trust ourselves? Because I would think this is an easy thing, right? But I couldn't even trust myself on even picking out clothes, right? Sometimes we lose trust in ourselves. This could happen with situations. This could happen with bad people. This could happen. Well, it's not really. Don't really have bad people. Let's just say bad situations. Um, in ourselves after we make a mistake or after someone criticizes us harshly or constantly, it can feel okay. So let me just explain about that. You might do something wrong. All right. You might be unfaithful. You might scam somebody some money at whatever time you thought that was the right thing to do, whatever you may have done. And you might not hear that prayers from when you do it to 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. You might be collecting pension and still hearing that prayers. You remember when you did this, right? If it's already done with and you already feel crappy about it, you don't need to beat up yourself about it. It is done with. You forgive yourself, you ask for forgiveness, you ask for forgiveness from God or whoever you pray to, and it is done. It is not no long contract of having this over your head, like, hey, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do. No, we're not in the days of Jesus. Jesus walked with his cross already, right? We have our crosses to bear, and we bear them mentally. We don't need to bear them physically. Whatever we bear physically, it is always to help us grow, never to harm us. Okay? So whatever you may be going through, it is not to harm you. You need to be positive, think positive, do positive things, live and breathe the frequency that you want to be, which is higher frequencies. So words like trust, love, obedience, believing, all these need to be part of your vocabulary. And there are also words, veggies, fruits, everything to deal with high frequencies. So it can be more difficult to make decisions when you can't trust yourself because you fear. Fear is a crippling thing. We spoke about that when we were talking about forgiveness. Fear can really cripple your immune system and make you think all sorts of craziness, people. Keep fear out of your vocabulary, please. Or you might be more prone to criticizing your own decisions after you make it. You might be like, this food was salt, the way, boy, this had too much salt now. What the thing? And you add two tomatoes, and so you keep going, going, going because you're unsure to make a little decision. But if you can't make decisions for yourself, it comes like you place in your whole life, like a toy, the little toy that have the little chain up thing. If you can't make decisions for yourself, who making the decisions? And if they are making decisions, are they making decisions based on what is best for you? Or to have you in a certain state of mind where some sort of control on their end is taking place. So you really need to be present in the moment and observe your situations, your friends, and your foes. You really need to do some inward investigation and see if you are a trustworthy person, firstly, and secondly, if you can trust people. So this is the last thing I'll read out and share with you all, and then we'll close up because I know it's probably an hour past by now. That's the thing with me and Daniel. We could talk for hours, but we will not talk to the public for hours because there is always a new topic and there is always new information available to you all. Once we stop believing in ourselves, we start shifting our focus to surviving instead of thriving. Now, survival mode, how to say, you can't save, you can't do this, you can't do that because you're just surviving. You feel like this is all, I don't trust anybody and this is all I have to go through by myself. It's as a whole, it's a mental, how to say, procrastination, mental debates within your mind, all because you probably would have made a mistake or two, and then everybody have that over your head, or one person, or you yourself have it over your head. But we serve a God of forgiveness, right? So once we ask for forgiveness, we are forgiven. And surviving instead of thriving. We start to do things purely for the external consequences rather than the things that make us internally happy. The thing that will simply keep us afloat rather than helping us swim. We lose that zest for life. Ever hear like, you lose your mojo? I am a whole zest. Like I feel like it's a whole zest party, Danielle, right? But I used to feel like I lose my mojo. I used to feel like, I just existed. But I no longer feel that way because I have purpose. I found love within myself and I trust myself to do the right things, even though it may seem not right to people. I still trust myself. And if I am wrong, Daniel. And we move forward. We lose that zest of life. We stop doing things if they bring us joy. Sometimes we lack so much social skills. We just want to be by ourselves. We just wanna lie down. We just want to take a rest. We stop feeling excited. And that chemical that has us happy, we spoke about it, in the previous program. That little chemical that makes us happy, we will not have. We will have only the chemicals that make us sad and down, right? What can lack of trust do to oneself? It can lead to various anxiety disorders, including agoraphobia, which I'm not sure. I did not look up the meaning to that, but I sure will after this program. And becoming socially withdrawn. You don't want to be around anybody. You don't want to talk to anybody, like that. You want to stay by yourself, and staying by yourself constantly is a form of depression as well. I'm not saying if you don't like company, you're depressed. I'm saying sometimes it is a form of low-key depression. If severe, a lack of trust can cause somebody to feel hopeless, depressed, and possibly consider harming themselves or suicide. Now, suicide is not just hanging a rope to your neck or doing anything to harm yourself, right? Suicide is not just that, and we don't promote suicide or any kind of harm on this program as well. Suicide can even be, how to say, sabotaging your job, not intentionally sabotaging a friendship because you're caught with an old programming. Suicide could be killing any part of your life, mentally, spiritually, and yes, even physically, right? And all these things can lead up if you don't trust people and you don't trust yourself.
Socially too.
Yes. And low self-esteem and a lack of confidence are also common amongst people who lack trust, right? So low confidence, low self-esteem. If you don't know your worth, somebody gonna know your worth? No, you have to show people
I
what
wanna
your worth is.
I wanna add to this. Um, in terms of that low self-esteem, what I've noticed over the years, right? Well, for persons who may not know, I have been involved in counseling for some years as well, right? And a lot of people come to me up to today with different issues. And Marsha, you spoke about people blaming themselves earlier on. The whole thing about it, where this is concerned that he was just talking about there, a lot of people doing things, they're trying to spend the entire life pleasing somebody else. And then when they fail, they will think that they failed the person and will always feel, well, they were not good enough, right? Now, when you do something, let's say I doing this, you ask me to do something for you, Marsha. Like, I telling myself, well, okay, I'm doing this thing for Marsha. And if I don't do it good enough, I will feel, I could feel guilty. But what's the thing about it, Marsha? If you ask me to do something for you, I wouldn't really be doing it for you, and I'll be doing it because that is me. That is what I want to do, right? And it's not because that's what you want from me. And since I start thinking about what I want to do, if I don't want to do it, you could ask me from now till next year. You could vex with me. That is your problem because I don't want to do it. right? So I'm doing it for me. And a lot of people who tote guilt for the rest of their lives, people who are going through abuse, are carrying guilt for the entire life because they're so feeling they have to live to please this particular person, right? They don't trust themselves because they're not even living for themselves, right? So I just wanted to interject that. I know I wasn't that articulate with it because it just come on my thoughts there
I
of the
understood you
batch,
most
right?
importantly. I understood you. I'm
But
sure the viewers understood you as well.
yeah, we need to focus on, is this what we want? Do we like doing this? Right? In some cases as well, I know you're looking to wrap up, but Marsha, a lot of students are fighting up to do what their parents want them to do because of what their parents want them to become when they are older. And that breaks down the trust that the children even have in themselves as well, you know, because they're not doing something that they are even interested in many cases.
Exactly.
Right?
That
So let
breaks
me
down
pause
their
on that.
self-esteem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So right. So low self-esteem and I mean all those things, low self-esteem, low self-confidence is not a good, those are not things to have. Those are things that you don't have because you need to have high self-confidence and high self-esteem in order to remain, let's say, with the most high, right? Yeah, you have to feel good about yourself in order to say good things about yourself. And you need to say good things about yourself in order to feel good about yourself. It's a, like you have to be consistent with it. You can't do it today and expect it to work by tomorrow. It can't work like that. You have to be consistent in your positive vibes and your positive energy. So in wrapping up, what I'll do, I'll just tell you a final note on trust. Trust can be a dangerous thing. What we risk while trusting is the loss of valuable things or valuable people. Things that we entrust to others, including our self respect, perhaps, right? Which can be shattered by the betrayal of our trust because trust is risky. The question of when it is warranted is of particular importance. So trust is a very, what to say, it's risky business, trusting somebody. It is not risky business trusting yourself, however. And if you are able to trust yourself, more than likely you will not have problems trusting people. Things related to trust: acceptance, assurance, certainty, conviction, emotions associated with trust, compassion, companionship, friendship, love, agreement, relaxation, and comfort. Trust is the foundation of any type of relationship, Daniel. Without trust, nothing can be built on firm ground. And even if it is built, it is sustainable to fall because it is not strong and it was not built with the proper things. It's just like if you're building a foundation. Yeah, you could use cement and all this kind of thing, but if you use a certain kind of sand or a certain kind of gravel, other than the one you're supposed to use, that foundation going to have cracks in it. And how, it does not matter how strong the house itself is if the foundation is weak and the foundation is trust. So everyone, I mean, if you're interested, do some research on it, find out, sit down, question yourself, see if you are a trustworthy person. Do the, people deserve to trust you, vice versa. Are there people you could trust? And if yes, will they betray your trust? Those are questions you ask yourself before you even start your day. And another thing to do when it is you get up in the morning time, before anyone reaches for their phone, or jump out to do this or to cook, whatever, just lie down for 5 minutes and just thank God for waking up and having breath. Being grateful is a high frequency as well. And when you work all together, only then we can have a positive and progressive energy to do anything that we want. So, like I said, so that's it for the topic of trust. Sorry, and for the rest of the topics, you all can message Daniel. We can speak about love, depression, energy, frequency, chakras, gods, anything we can talk about. So you all just inform Daniel, and Daniel will relate to me. So I am going back to deal with my boys. So Daniel, you have anything to say before we wrap up?
Yes, I just want to thank everyone for joining us. Right. We're gonna have some topics coming up. Right. Besides those that you all will suggest, we're gonna have some topics, some specific topics, and I think Marsha mentioned one, which is the meaning of love or the true meaning of love. And what was the next one again you mentioned, Marsha?
The
Depression.
definition of love and depression.
And depression, right? So those are two, but we have many, many, many more. And what we're going to do, well, as you all could see, we're not going to stray too much into any other topics, any subtopics. So you will realize that Marsha was more on point. The reason we're doing that is because we want, when we leave from here, yes, the talk will be spicy because, we just natural and real with it. But when we leave from here, the audience must say, okay, we learned something, right? And I'm seeing that people are already appreciating this evening's live stream, just as the other live streams before, right? But for those of you who now tuning in for the first time, this is how it's going to be all the time. We're going to really take our topic and deal with it. We're going to hit it for six or probably beyond six, right? Um, Thanks again, everyone. Don't forget to drop your suggestions. I saw a suggestion that we should continue on this topic. But what we will do anytime we're going to expand on that topic, we will like skip a week and then come back to that topic, right? So we wouldn't do like 2 weeks straight on the same topic. We will kind of mix it up, right? So whether we call it a part two or not. And all do us a favor, share the live, share the live. This is our new show. It only started this month, September, and this is what, Marsha, the third or the fourth week?
Fourth,
Uh,
I believe.
the fourth week, right?
Yes.
So this is our fourth week. So not much persons know about this, and we realize that people are already enjoying it. So spread that joy, spread it across the board, share it with your friends, share it on WhatsApp, share it on Facebook, and remember for your friends who do not have access to Facebook, we are also streaming live on YouTube right now. And finally, Marsha, before you close off, all viewers, I would like for you all to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us build, help us grow, so that we will be able to come to you. We will be able to come to you better and better every time. But the more we grow, is the more we will have contributions from other persons in terms of feedback, in terms of suggested topics. They will push us to do more research, right? So spread it, and it will work in the best interest of all of us. So that is me saying thanks again to everyone, and back to Marsha before we close.
All right. Well, blessed night to everybody. Everybody keep safe, protect your immune system, be happy, and we'll see you all again soon. Next week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Right, Daniel?
Definitely.
All right. Take care.
And you take care too, Marsha. Nice chatting.